Hi guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to share some of the books that I have on my bookshelf that are Penguin. And I wanted to share this because I actually have quite a lot of Penguin books, so while my collection is still relatively small, I just wanted to do a video on my collection so far. I have both fiction and non-fiction in my library. So the first book, probably not the oldest for sure, it's Aristotle and Aristotle's Classical Literary Criticism book. This is a non-fiction book. And then I have Susan Hale's A Change for the Better, fiction. And then I have John Sutherland's How to Be Well Read, non-fiction / fiction. So it's basically his guide to the great novels and a few other different books that are not necessarily categorized as novels. And then I have the new Penguin Parallel Text short stories in Japanese and English. So this is a parallel book. So it has Japanese on one page and English on the other, like that. And then I have John Buchanan's The 39 Steps. This is fiction. I have Sigmund Freud, The Joke and Its Relation to the Unconscious, non-fiction. And then I have Bridget Raymond, Woman at the Pillory. This is fiction. And then I have Rude Food by Veer Sanghavi. I got this in India, so it's Penguin India. It's a non-fiction book, a collected food writings by Veer Sanghavi in a book. So Rude Food. He's a food critic. And then I have Albert Camus' The Plague. I love Camus. And then I have Aristotle's The Nicomachean Ethics. I have Raina Maria Rilke's The Notebooks of Malte Ladisbrede. It is part fiction, part non-fiction, I think. I think it's fiction. I've not read this one. And Aristotle's is obviously non-fiction. And then I recently acquired the Iliad by Homer and by the Robert Fagles translation. So I'm quite excited and actually happy with my choice. So I have the Iliad. And then I have the Penguin Book of Existentialist Philosophy. And this is non-fiction collected essays of existentialist writings. Collected essays by existentialists authors. Well, the ones who identified as or in the sense of the topics that tend to be important. And then I have Simone Weil's An Anthology. Pretty amazing book, actually. I read this one. It's unreadable by anyone else except me. And then that's the stack. So I have the others. They're in a box, basically. I have Zola's La Bête Humaine. This is fiction. Emile Zola. I think it's Emile Zola. Emile Zola. Yeah. Yukio Mishima's A Thirst for Love. Trial by Water. Indo Basin and India-Pakistani Relations. Non-fiction. Nietzsche's Twilight of the Idols with the Antichrist and Esther Homo. I have another Yukio Mishima's. I have Yukio Mishima's Forbidden Colors. And then I have Vladimir Nabokov's probably the last book he wrote, and it's Look at the Harlequins. I have Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. I have Tolstoy's The Cossacks and The Death of Ivan Lynch. So it's 2 stories. The Cox. I have Tolstoy's The Cossacks or Happy Ever After and The Death of Ivan Lynch. Ilyich. And then I have Fyodor Dostoevsky's The Double. Oof, that needs to go. I really don't like that. I might have been looking the other way when I was getting this, which sucks. And then I have Patrick Modiano's Missing Person. I love Modiano's book. I have read another one of Modiano's book. I can't remember which one that was. Let's see. Maybe, I don't think they usually list here anymore. Also by Modiano. I don't think they do that anymore. Yeah. Pretty good. And then I have Lost Japan, Last Glimpse of Beautiful Japan by Alex Keir. It's non-fiction. And then I have Simone de Beauvoir's The Prime of Life. It's non-fiction. And then I have Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita without the girl at the front. Very important. And then I have H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau. I think. And then I have Fyodor Dostoevsky's White Nights. William Boyd's Trio. Fiction. Pretty much fiction. I've been talking about fiction for the past 5 books. And then I have Anti-Fragile by Nassim Nicholas Taleb, and it's non-fiction. And then I have Bending Adversity, Japan and the Art of Survivor, David Pilling. It's a cultural book, so it's non-fiction. Madame Bovary, really good. So I have Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. And then I have Chromorama by Riccardo Falcinelli. And it's non-fiction. I read this. Look at that book. It's well researched. It has the visual markers, everything that you could think of to understand this book or even enjoy it. And then I have The Best of Saki. It's a short collection of stories. This is compiled by Graham Greene. And then I have Books versus Cigarettes by George Orwell. This is non-fiction collection of essays, sort of. Or yeah, I think so. And then I have another one, Steven Pinker's How the Mind Works. It's non-fiction. Pretty good. And lastly, Iris Murdoch's The Italian Girl. So those are my Penguin books that I have. There's a bunch of mixes of all kinds of Penguin books, but yeah, so far they fit in my bookshelves. Yeah, so those are my Penguin books. I did not even count them, and I totally forgot to tell you which ones are fiction and non-fiction. But yeah, I will be seeing you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.